Brother Cliff again with another question today. In Genesis 44:5, the question is, did Joseph practice divination? And I was read it, and when you read it, you'll think, well, he did. But let's look at it a little closer. Let me read the verse for us. Genesis 44, verse 5. Is not this the one from which my Lord drinks, in which he indeed practices divination? You have done evil in so doing. Well, what happened here was that Joseph had sent his brothers away, and he put some money in their sacks. But in the sack of Benjamin, he put a cup, his favorite cup. And this is the cup that's referring to here. And the guys went and they caught the brothers, and they told them, it was all a plan by Joseph to get the brothers to come back. But the fact of the matter is, they caught them and they found a cup. And they was wondering why they would take Joseph's favorite cup, because, it was special to him. And the fact of the matter is, they said, this is the one who he uses to practice divination. And well, I looked at it closely, and I first of all had to come to this conclusion, that everything in Joseph's life in the past, in fact, Joseph, if you remember, in prison, he was able to discern the dreams of the baker and also the butler. You remember when he was first, when he was a little small lad, he had this dream, and he went and shared it with his brothers, and his brothers didn't like it. Do you remember that? Well, the dream come to pass. It happened just like Joseph said. Joseph was now going to rule over his brothers, just like he said. So I had to say, well, I looked the word up, and the idea is in Deuteronomy, the Bible tells us that this is a practice that if anybody does it, it's an abomination to the Lord. Well, that didn't add up with Joseph. Not, for God had blessed Joseph in everything that he had been involved in. In prison, when he got out of prison, his status now in the land, everything was a blessing from the Lord. It wasn't an abomination. So I've got to believe what God says, and let me read it for you, because it's very harsh. It says, there shall not be found among you anyone who makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire, or who practices witchcraft, or a soothsayer, or one who interprets omens, or a sorcerer, or one who conjures spells, or a medium, or a spiritist, or one who calls up the dead. For all who do these things are an abomination to the Lord, and because of these abominations, the Lord your God drives them out from before you. Well, Joseph's life just didn't measure up with what a person who practices divination, it just didn't measure up. So I looked at the word a little closer in the Hebrew text, and I found that it also could mean divining. Divining. Well, I looked that up, and I got to thinking, well, that was kind of what Joseph was doing. He was getting a word from the Lord, and he was sharing that word with other people. It was kind of like someone I read, I forgot who it was, but I read about this passage, and he said it was maybe this cup was something Joseph used in his time alone with the Lord. Like you maybe have a favorite cup you drink out of when you do your devotions, or you're sitting or studying the Word, and you have this favorite glass that you drink out of, or something that's special to you, but it's just something that you use, and it reminds you of maybe a blessing or something that God has done for you. When you remember that Joseph had been blessed, and he had been blessed in a mighty powerful way by the king himself, because he had interpreted a dream. Well, here, maybe in seeking the Lord's will for his life, maybe he did have a favorite cup. And maybe his servants called it divination, but I'm more apt to believe that it was just something Joseph, used to during this time of seeking God's will for his life, divining what God wanted him to do and to share with others. Okay, think about it for yourself, and maybe you have a better explanation, but it just don't add up that Joseph would participate in the occult or participate in any sorcery or anything like that. That just wasn't who he was. Okay, God bless you. I love you.